Sinabi nating direct filling gold, it's a type of impaction directly into the composites aside sa acrylics natin. Gold as a restorative material. So your direct filling golds are used in dentistry for more than 100 years. Your golds are a type of um, high noble material or noble material which has a superior restorative property. So they're usually used in small lesions and defects sa tooth natin, and it can last a lifetime. Okay, they're very biocompatible and they have excellent marginal integrities. Okay, so when do we use the direct filling gold? So they're indicated for incipient carious lesions such as carious lesions found in your occlusal, buccal, and lingual pits, class 2 lesions on premolars and molars, and your class 3 in mandibular anteriors. Okay, we also use your direct filling golds for class 5 in your bicuspids and cuspids where aesthetics permits. Okay, and of course, sa erosion areas natin. So, saan yung erosion areas? Usually, sa lingual areas. Direct filling gold for atypical lesions such as proximal lesions on teeth adjacent to a crown preparation, class 6 lesions, and retrograde root canal filling material. Okay? When we say retrograde root canal filling material, ginagamit po natin yung material na yan when it so happens that we accidentally perforated the root apex. Gumagamit tayo ng direct filling gold as a root canal filling material. For those ginagamit or when is direct filling gold contraindicated? Okay, teeth with large pulp chambers, so definitely it falls under the very young ages. Periodontal weakened teeth, so for very autonomy factor. Okay, and handicapped patients as well as root canal treated teeth. Okay, we only use filling material. Okay, so sa baba nyo lang siya ginagamit to fill or to fix the root apex perforation. Okay, where else? Underdeveloped tooth, and then caries-prone mouth, hypersensitive with weakened walls, and most of these contraindications natin. Last na yung skill ng operator. Okay? Kasi po, your gold is medyo mahirap siyang i-handle when it comes sa side natin as clinicians or as dentists. Okay? Ng ating direct filling gold material, more resistant to tarnish and corrosion since hindi sila made of alloys. Okay? They have perfect adaptivity property sa cavity walls because of their ductility or their ability to be shaped. Okay? They have more edge strength as well as low tendency to molecular change. Okay? So they're free from shrinkage or expansion, unlike your metal alloys. Okay? So they also maintain their high polish property. Okay? Kaya po sila more resistant to tarnish and corrosion. Okay? What else? No intracement substance needed. Hindi po natin kailangan gumamit ng cement in order for it to um, be adhesive doon sa ngipin. Okay? Your direct filling gold material also has the similar thermal expansion with your thin film. That's why they are very biocompatible. Okay? So your direct filling gold materials also are easily or are readily accepted by your oral tissues. Okay? And hindi po sila nagko-cause ng tooth discoloration. Bakit po? Kasi wala silang masyadong um, components that will reach out in order for the tooth to be discolored over time. Okay, yun nga lang, of course, if may advantages, meron din disadvantages ang ating um, direct filling gold materials. Hindi siya harmonious sa kulay ng ngipin ng patient natin. Okay? And yung thermal conductivity niya can be a problem if newly restored yung ngipin. Okay? And it can lead to sensitivity to hot and cold food or beverages because of the thermal conductivity property of your direct filling. One of the disadvantages, hirap pong i-master ang manipulation ng gold natin. It requires skill and practice. Okay? Non-cohesive gold may be used on account of its rapidity of manipulation in simple cavities with 4 strong walls located on the surfaces not subject to wear. Okay? So, pwede po kayong gumamit ng non-cohesive gold ninyo para hindi kayo mahirapan in terms of its manipulation. Pero, for simple cavities lang, such as your past ones, diba? Located on surfaces na hindi madalas or hindi madaling mag-wear out. Okay? It is not indicated on the surfaces subjected to stress of mastication or i-contour or i-carve your class 3, your class 5s. Yan. Okay? Kasi minimal contour work gold. Okay? So again, ang disadvantage lang when we're using, mabilis kasi siyang mag-set. So, hindi rin siya pwede for areas wherein merong mastication forces na ina-apply most of the time or na-apply most of the time. Okay? Kasi po mabilis siyang matanggal. Kasi nga, hindi siya ginagamitan ng cement for addition. Okay? So, kailan lang tayo gumagamit ng base for your gold filling? Okay? Pag 3 mm or more of the remaining dentin thickness, no need for base. Okay? 2 mm or more of remaining thickness, pwede kayong gumamit ng varnish on the walls and the floors without cavo surface margins. And if it's between 1 to 2 mm of the remaining dentin thickness, pwede kayong gumamit ng sub-base of your calcium hydroxide or unmodified zinc oxide eugenol. So, over this varnish, so over that, naglalagay kayo ng varnish. Okay? And zinc phosphate cement or zinc polycarboxylate base is used. Okay? So, meron kayong sub-base and then meron kayong base. Okay? So, yung sub-base din nyo, doon naka-apply yung sa ibabaw na naka-apply yung varnish ninyo. And then, sa ilalim ng sub of your remaining dentin thickness. So, less than 1 mm na lang ito. So, mga nasa 0.5 na lang yung remaining dentin. Hindi na po tayo gumagamit ng filling gold for that. Okay? So, other types of material na ng dentin thickness, meaning makapal pa yung dentin, pwede kayong gumamit ng direct filling gold material as restorative material. Okay? 2 mm, pwede pa rin naman maglalagay lang kayo ng varnish sa walls and sa floors. Okay? If it's 1 to 2 mm, you have to use it. Okay? So first, we have your gold foil, and then we have your electrolytic precipitated gold, which is your matte gold, your matte foil, and your gold calcium alloy. We also have your powdered gold or your granulated gold, which is your gold dent. Okay? So, syempre, magsa-start tayo with your gold foil. Okay? Your gold foil sheets are manufactured by a process called gold beating or rolling. Okay? All the lightweight sheets are formed by beating and heavyweights are formed by rolling. Okay? So, lahat ng lightweight sheets ng inyong gold foil are formed by beating the gold. Yung heavyweight sheets nyo naman po are formed by rolling the gold. Okay? In the beating process, first heavier mallets are used, followed by lighter ones as gold gets thinner. Okay? So it comes in a book of 1/10 or 1 to 20 ounces. Okay? One book has 12 sheets. Okay? With a common dimension of 4 by 4. Okay? So yung gold foil po ninyo, it comes in a book of 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 ounces. Okay? Yung isang book has 12 sheets of your gold foil. Okay? Na may dimension na 4 by 4. Yung number 4 gold foil po ninyo, it weighs 4 grains or 0.259 grams. Okay? And is 0.51 micron in thickness. So, sobrang nipis na po talaga yung number 4 gold foil ninyo. Okay? Yung number 3 naman po na gold foil, it weighs 3 grams or 0.194 it weighs 3 grains. Okay? Or 0.194 grams and is about 0.38 micron in thickness. Okay? So, mas mabigat po yung number 4 na gold foil ninyo. Okay? So, during manufacture, the pure gold ingots are subjected to cold working, thereby creating sheets out of blocks. Okay? So, as the gold is subjected to strain hardening during this process, further cold working towards the formation of these leaves or yung sheets na tinatawag natin. So, ang nangyayari po, yung material ninyo, nasasubject siya into proper annealing or heating. Okay? So, yung alternative process ng cold working and annealing ninyo, yung cold working po continues until the desired thickness of the gold sheet is arrived at. Okay? So, during the manufacture, syempre, naka-block yung gold ninyo. So, what happens is, during the hardening process po, numinipis yan, hanggang sa ma-achieve na po yung desired thickness ng gold sheet ninyo. Basically, yun lang naman yun. Okay? So, your gold foil, sheets, and then pellets, and then may cylinders, and then may ropes. Okay? So, it can either be laminated, platinized, or corrugated pagdating sa gold foil. Okay? So, unang type pa lang tayo ng direct filling gold. Okay? So, your gold foil can come in sheets, in pellets, in cylinders, or in ropes. Okay? All of these can be laminated, platinized, or corrugated. Okay? So your extra liable gold foil was made to produce a more cohesive gold. Okay? Your extra liable gold has improved tendency to cohere or mas maganda yung kapit niya. Okay, so your extra liable gold foil are formed by wrapping a loosely formed regular gold rope with an extra sheet of your gold foil. Okay? Yung gold foil pellets naman, 1 out of 28. Wait lang. Ayan. 1 over 128 of proportion of your number 4 gold foil. So after removing the gold foil along with the tissue paper from the book, the foil is held on paper and is cut to the size needed. Yung paper is then ending cling during manipulation. Okay, so yung una kanina is your extra liable gold foil. Next naman po is yung gold foil pellets nyo na. Okay, so yung sizes ng pellets ninyo are used from 1/10 onwards. Larger sizes of 1/2, 1/4, 1/8 are used for making cylinders na ng gold foil. Okay? So the desired piece is then grasped by index thumb and middle finger or of your left hand, and then the ends are touched with tweezers towards the center and are rolled into loose balls. Okay? The pellets are degassed and stored in separate compartment. So, ito po siya. Okay? So, yung gold foil ninyo, ika-cut nyo siya, and then you use your tweezers to fold it, and then you roll it, and then may different pellets na kayo. Different sizes of your pellets. Okay? So, merong mas malaki, which is 1 of 32 or 132 thirds or 132, and then 164, and then 196, and then 1128. So, 1128 na po yung pinaka maliit. Okay? Okay, so ito po yung paggawa ng pellets ninyo. Okay, so from sheet, you cut it, and then you roll it. Yun na yun, pellets na siya. Okay? So, pag sinabi naman natin gold cylinder, it can be hand-rolled or commercially rolled na siya. Okay? They're made by rolling the cut segment of your number 4 foil into 1/2, 1/4, 1/8 na width. Okay? So, pwedeng kayo na yung mag-form ng gold cylinder ninyo. So, you just cut it and then you roll it na. Okay? Next, we have your corrugated gold or your carbonized gold foil. Okay, so this was first observed by a dental dealer in the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Okay, yung corrugated gold foil po ninyo is manufactured by placing a thin leaf of paper between two sheets of gold foil. So may paper dun sa dalawang gold foil ninyo, sa pagitan ng dalawang gold foil. After which the whole container accommodating the paper, leaves, and gold foil is ignited. Okay, so as the paper leaves are burnt out, they shrivel and thereby impart a corrugated shape to the gold foil. Okay, it has been proven that the corrugated gold foils are more cohesive than the plain ones. Okay? So, mas cohesive daw po yung corrugated gold ninyo compared to your other types of your gold foils. Okay? Next, we also have your platinized gold foil. Okay, so it's a sandwich of gold and platinum. So may combination na siya with the platinum content being 15% of your gold foil. Okay, one sheet of your platinum foil is sandwiched between two sheets of foil. Okay, and is then hammered to the thickness of your number 4 gold foil. Okay, so we mix or we use two sheets of your gold foil and then one sheet of your platinum foil. You sandwich the platinum foil in between the two gold sheets and then you hammer it hanggang sa ma-achieve nyo na yung number 4 thickness ng gold foil ninyo. Okay? Layers of your gold and platinum are rolled over together so that there occurs a fusion of the two even before the beating procedure begins. Okay? So you roll it together bago nyo pa po siya i-hammer down. Okay? The platinum increases the hardness and wear resistance of the gold foil restoration. So this form can be used in stress concentration areas like your incisal edges and your cusp tips. Okay? So pwede na po natin gamitin yung gold foil dun sa mga stress-bearing areas if they are combined with your platinum. Okay? Next, we also have your laminated gold foil. Okay, so ano po ba yung laminated gold foil natin? When a cube of gold ingot is cold worked in order to formulate a sheet, so the cubical crystals of your gold will then be stretched and elongated in a specific direction. Okay, so if the gold foil of that cube is viewed under microscope, it would appear fibrous. Okay, so may mga different specific directions kasi since na-stretch na yung crystals ng gold ninyo with the fibers parallel to each other in a specific pattern. Mechanically speaking, this type of gold foil material will have directional properties. Say, for example, it will be resistant to stresses in one direction better than the other. Pag laminated gold foil. Okay? Whereas, when we say cohesive gold naman po, it's a type or it's the form of your gold which is essentially free of any surface contaminants and can be placed directly into the cavity. Okay, this type of gold can attract gases to its surface and any adsorbed gas film can prevent intimate atomic contact required for cold welding. Okay, so ang ginagawa po, the manufacturer supplied the foil free of surface contaminants and therefore inherently cohesive. This type is referred to as your cohesive foil. Okay, cohesive gold foil na po siya. If it's free of surface contaminants. Okay, and inherently cohesive na siya. Okay. Then we have your semi-cohesive gold naman. So some gold sheets have adsorbed protective gas films such as your ammonia. Okay? So yung ammonia po, this minimizes the adsorption of other less volatile substances and they prevent the premature cohesion of your gold sheets. Okay? So the volatile film is readily removed by heating it or by heating the sheets of gold to restore the cohesive character of your gold foil. Okay? So, yung type po ng foil na yan is what you call your semi-cohesive gold foil. Okay? So, kapag may protective gas film na siya such as your ammonia. Okay? Next, we also have your non-cohesive gold. Okay, so if non-volatile contaminants like iron, sulfur, phosphorus are permanently deposited on the surface of your gold foil, this cannot be driven away by heat and so gold loses its cohesive property. Okay, the non-cohesive forms are used as starting material since they can be worked more easily than your cohesive forms. But the thing is, yung sa non-cohesive gold nyo kasi, since contaminated na siya with your iron, with your sulfur, with your phosphorus, syempre, mababa na yung kanyang property. So, wala na siyang, hindi na ganun kaganda yung strength niya and yung hardness. Although, mas madali siyang manipulate, okay, than your cohesive forms. Yun nga lang, hindi ganun kaganda yung quality niya. Okay. Next, we move to your electrolytic precipitated gold. Your electrolytic precipitated gold has three types, okay? We have your matte gold, your matte foil, and your gold calcium alloys, okay? So, we'll start with your matte gold. So, your matte gold is an electrolytically precipitated crystalline form that is sandwiched between sheets of gold foil and formed into strips. Okay? So, yung strips na yan ng matte gold ninyo are cut into desired sizes. So, kung ano yung kailangan ninyong sizes, yun po yung kukuhanin ninyo. They're preferred for its ease in building up the internal bulk of the restoration as it can be more easily compacted and adapted doon sa retentive portions ng prepared cavity ninyo. Okay? So, your matte gold, as it is loosely packed, it is friable and contain numerous void spaces between the particles. Okay? Kumbaga parang freely moving yung mga particles niyan kasi nga loosely packed siya. So, it's recommended for the external surface of your restoration. Okay? So, pwede niyo siyang gamitin sa external surface para mas madali ninyong ma-pack. Okay? Using this two-material technique, the mat is covered with a veneer of foil. Okay? Loosely packed crystalline form with large surface area of the matte powder, so it does not permit easy welding into a solid mass as does your gold foil. Okay? Mas madali kasing ma-weld yung gold foil ninyo compared to your matte gold. Kasi po yung matte gold ninyo, syempre, may powder kasi siya. Okay? So, unlike your gold foil na naka-sheet siya, so, mas madali siyang ma-weld. Okay? So, anong advantages ng matte gold natin? Syempre, rapid filling. Mas mabilis mag-fill. Kasi nga, ika-cut mo lang to your desired size and then you can pack it directly na. Okay? And then, filling internal bulk. So, mas kumakapit siya sa cavity walls and sa retentive portions ng inyong restoration. So, it is used to form the core of your restoration. Okay? Ang average size ng ating matte gold is usually around 10 to 20 micrometers or 10 to 20 microns. Okay? Ano lang disadvantage ng matte gold natin? Medyo mahirap lang siya i-handle. So, of course, since yun nga, loose yung powder sa ibabaw ng matte gold, call this. So, nagkakaroon ng voids. Okay? So, may surface pitting, may ditching, and may rough finishing. Kaya siya nilalagyan ng veneer foil kapag ipapack nyo na siya. Okay? It's covered with your veneer foil. Okay? So, more condensation pressure is required since loosely nga yung particles niya, they crumble during the manipulation. So, mas maraming condensation pressure ang kailangan for it to be packed correctly. Okay? Yun nga lang, it does not permit welding into a homogeneous mass, unlike your previous gold sheets or gold foils. Okay? Your matte foil is a sandwich. This is a sandwich of your matte gold placed in sheets of your number 3 or number 4 gold foil. Okay? So, yung sandwich na yon ng matte foil natin is sintered by heat. So, yung matte gold kanina, hindi siya pwedeng welding into a homogeneous mass, whereas yung matte foil nyo naman is sintered by heating to just below the melting point of your gold and cut into strips of different widths. So, yung matte foil ninyo, kailangan muna siya i-heat bago siya i-cut. Okay? The gold foil cover holds the crystalline gold together while it is being condensed. So, yung matte foil ninyo, ginagamitan siya ng gold foil para ma-hold yung crystalline gold components niya habang kino-condense siya doon sa restoration, okay? Or doon sa cavity preparation, okay? So, ang mechanical strength ng matte foil ninyo is the result of a special molding and heat treatment process. So, aside sa heat treatment, minomold nyo rin kasi siya into the prepared cavity. So, this property renders it easier to manipulate kasi syempre mas pliable if it's melted. Okay? Because matte gold foil is highly adhesive and cohesive, and because it is more readily adaptable than other types of your foil, it is ideally suited for building up the internal bulk of your Class 5, Class 1, and occlusal portions ng inyong Class 2 restorations. Okay? Next, your alloy electrolytic precipitate. Okay, so this is an alloy of your electrolytic gold and calcium. So, yung calcium na naka-add dun sa alloy electrolytic precipitate ninyo is usually 0.1 to 0.5% by weight. So, anong purpose nun? Its purpose is to produce a stronger restoration by the dispersion hardening. So for convenience, the alloy electrolytic precipitate is sandwiched between two layers of gold foil. Okay? Para mas madali siyang i-manipulate. Okay? So your electroalloy RV naman po, this is a matte gold manufactured by Williams Gold Refining Company in New York. So RV stands for RV Williams, who developed this kind of electroalloy. Okay? Next, we have your powdered gold. Okay? So pag sinabi naman po nating powdered gold, it's a blend of your atomized and precipitated powder ng gold embedded in a wax-like organic matrix. Okay? So this form was introduced in 1962 by Bohm and Lund. So yung atomized and chemically precipitated powders are first mixed with the soft wax to form pellets. Okay? So, after that, yung wax gold pellets na yon are wrapped with your foil. So, the resulting pellets are cylindrical and are available in different diameters and length. Okay? Yung commercially available pellets po ninyo of your powdered gold wrapped in a gold foil are known as your golden. Okay? Yung golden na yan, they're introduced in 1960s. So the individual particles or granules are of 15 microns, are gathered into mass of irregularly shaped ranging in size from 1 to 3 mm, pre-condensed slightly to facilitate proper handling. Okay, so yung masses ng pellets na yan are encased in an envelope of foil to make it easier to convey them to the cavity para mas madali siyang i-transfer from your working area to the prepared cavity sa bibig ng patient. Okay? So, commercially available na yung pellet. Easy Gold po natin, it's similar to your golden, but with improved working properties, marketed by Williams Gold Refining Company in New York. Late 1980s na siya inintroduce. Okay, so yung Easy Gold natin is a mixture of pure gold powder and wax. Sa wax natin, it's less than 0.1% ng organic wax. And then, they are wrapped in gold foil. Okay, so its manipulative characteristics are similar to a stiff amalgam, yet more cohesive than your gold foil. Kaya siya tinatawag na metallurgically similar yung inyong easy gold to your gold. So, it has comparable material. Okay? So, kailan lang siya nire-recommend for so less time consuming siya at the material. Okay? It has greater expected longevity and mas favorable siya pagdating sa tissue response. Okay? Kasi nga, may inertness na siya or biocompatibility doon sa prepared cavity or doon sa tooth tissue. Okay? That's your easy gold. So next we have your stuff gold, okay? A new direct gold material that is considerably different from your other direct golds. It has been available since 1989. So the advantages are that the final restoration forms of your granular gold and has a 50% increase in shear strength when compared to your gold foil. So sa clinical experience kasi with your stuff gold, with the use of this type of restorative material is uh, being encouraged kasi po mas maganda na yung property niya. Okay? So, greater density na siya and may increase in its yung surface impurities regarding your gold. Okay? So, um, we have the following terms. First is the degassing. Okay? Degassing is the removal of surface impurities such as your ammonia gas, your wax, and other gases. Okay? Pag naman sinabi nating annealing, it's the removal of the surface impurities with internal stress relief, which restores the ductility and malleability property of the um, material. Okay? Annealing temperature ranges from 650 to 700 degrees Celsius depending on the selected method and heating time of the material. So, they produce an atomically clean surface that result in good metallic bonding. Okay? So, dalawa lang po yun, degassing and annealing. Okay? Yung annealing, removal of the surface impurities with internal stress relief. Pareho silang removal of the surface impurities. It's just that when you do the annealing kasi, it restores the ductility and the malleability property of the material after you remove the surface impurities. Okay? Degassing naman is removal ng surface impurities when it comes to different types of gases present in the material. Okay? So, ano-ano yung methods ng ating degassing? So, first, we have your open alcohol flame method, or also called your PEACE method. Okay? It's a heating unit that uses an open flame. From the name itself. Okay? So, absolute or 90% ethyl or methyl alcohol without any additives was used to produce a clean blue flame. Okay? So, blue flame lang po ang ginagamit natin when we use the open instrument and heated over. Okay? So, the gold is passed on for 3 to 5 seconds. The temperature of the, diba, as we all know, mas temperature of that blue flame is until the gold becomes dull red or super init niya. Okay? Anong advantages when we use the open flame? Okay? Less contamination, syempre, and less waste of the material. And as well as, nakukuha mo yung desired size ng piece na gusto mong makuha. Yun nga lang, ang disadvantage ng open flame is syempre time-consuming siya. Okay? Kasi syempre, prepare mo pa lahat ng kailangang materials. You have to heat it over the open blue flame. Okay? such as the illustration. So, we use a material, doon natin ilalagay yung gold, and then you heat it sa open flame, dun sa blue flame ng inyong lamp. Okay? So, aside sa open alcohol flame method natin, we also use your bulk method for degassing. Okay? So, we use mica tray over a flame method. Okay? So, a sheet of mica can be used over any type of flame and is used somewhat as a heating element. Okay? You divide the surface of the mica into several areas to indicate the time the pieces of gold were put on the mica. Okay? Maximally, 5 minutes are allowed for any piece of gold to be heated on mica. So, ang nangyayari po, the gassing of several gold pellets at the same time is possible since hindi mo na kailangang isang stick, isang gold ang itatapat mo sa open flame. Okay? So, yung mica tray po, this is what you call your mica tray. So, naglalagay tayo ng tray above the open flame. So, dyan na lang natin nilalagay yung mga gold pellets or yung gold foils para po mawala yung gas impurities niya. Okay? So, multiple gold can be preheated, okay, to remove the surface impurities. Okay? Next, we move to your electric annealing. Okay? Sa electric annealing naman po natin, this is the most controlled and standardized way of decontaminating your gold material. So, with this instrument, the heated compartment area is made of aluminum. And then, we use an electric heat so yung compartment. So, each accommodating a piece of direct gold. Okay? So, this eliminates the possibility of cohesion ng ibang pieces before they are inserted into the cavity preparation. Okay? Maximally, 5 minutes or temperature of 343 degrees Celsius or 640 Fahrenheit to 371 degrees Celsius or 700 degrees Fahrenheit. So, away the wax para po matanggal yung wax doon sa powdered gold natin. Ano nga lang ang disadvantage ng electric annealing natin? They stick together if the tray is moved. Siyempre, gagalaw yung gold powders ninyo or yung gold, direct gold ninyo once na natanggal nyo yung tray. Okay? So, size selection among the piece of the gas gold lang kapag nagalaw yung tray. Okay? Kasi ang nangyayari, nagdidikit-dikit yung gold. Okay? So, ito siya. Okay? So, merong tray dyan, and then electric. So, each, bawat pocket niyan, nandun yung gold. Okay? So, yung heating time ng electric annealing natin depends on the size and configuration ng gold segment. So, usually po, yung powdered gold natin, 15 to 20 seconds lang yan. Pag gold foil pellet and electrolytic gold naman, 1 to 2 seconds lang. Okay? Kasi po, di ba, remember, yung gold foil pellet is manipis. So, mas maikli yung heating time niya. Okay, so you avoid overheating and underheating of your gold. Okay? Ano mangyayari when you overheat? Okay, so nagkakaroon ng crystallization or recrystallization, grain growth, incorporation ng impurities. Mas matigas siya pag na-overheat yung gold ninyo and less ductile. It's difficult to condense kasi nga tumitigas siya. Non-cohesive, particles adhere to each other, and meron siyang excessive sintering, masyadong mainit. Pag naman underheated siya, partial lang ang cohesiveness niyan, and nagpipeel away yung adjacent segment or layer ng inyong gold. Nagkakaroon din ng pitting or ng void, so nagkakaroon ng porosity sa final restoration. Okay, pag underheated yung gold natin. Okay? So how do we store our gold foil? Okay, so the gold is packed into the preparation under pressure so that under welding, minimal porosity occurs. Okay, so nakapack po yung gold ninyo under pressure. Okay po, para may minimal porosity lang siya under welding. The protective gold foil from protecting the gold foil from contamination by gases with a thin film of your alkaline salts. Okay, yung protective film na yon, usually yan yung ammonia. It prevents that combine na dumidikit or humahalo. So nagkakaroon ng formation ng salts and excess. Okay? They are removal of surface impurities na. So, okay lang if may mga gumigit na kakaunti doon sa ammonia kasi under annealing, matatanggal din naman yung surface impurities ng gold foil natin. Okay? Next is the condensation. Okay? So, kanina pa natin din i-discuss yung in passing yung condensation ng ating gold. Okay? So, two main processes which control the quality of the final direct gold restoration. Okay? So, anong difference ng welding between your wedging? Your welding is a process. So, layers of gold or layers of gold as a result of your compaction. Whereas, pag naman po sinabing wedging, it's the process of pressurized adaptation of your gold form within the space between the tooth structure walls or tooth and the surface of the gold. Okay? So, yung welding, it forms atomic bonds between your pellets and your layers of gold. Okay? As a result ng compaction. Whereas pag wedging po is pressurized adaptation ng gold form doon sa spaces between the tooth structure. So, merong minimal voids between the margin of the tooth and dun sa surface ng gold ninyo. Okay? So, ano ang principles ng condensation natin? So, una, the force of condensation must be 45 degrees to the cavity walls and the floors. Okay? So, like in the photo, so when you're packing or when you're condensing your gold foil, it should be 45 degrees to the cavity walls and the floors. Okay? You bisect the line angle and trisect the point angle, which is a result in maximum adaptation, minimum results in the, so mas dumidikit or mas nag-a-adapt yung material and may minimum or minimal irritation to the vital pulp and into the dentine. Kasi po sa point angle nyo siya kino-condense. Hindi directly sa tooth structure, hindi directly sa pulp. Okay? So, you condense it doon sa point angle ng bawat cavity preparation ninyo. Okay? Next. Forces of condensation must be directed at 90 degrees to previously condensed gold. Okay? So, yung unang condensing ninyo is 45 at 45 degrees condensation. And then, your forces of condensation is directed at 90 degrees to previously condensed gold. Okay? Always start at point angle on one side and proceed to the other side to produce the tie formation. Okay? You ensure the condenser has covered the entire piece of gold and the condenser has to overlap at least one half of the previously condensed areas. Okay. Next is the use of minimum thickness of pellet as possible and energy of the condensation. So less energy is used inside the cavity preparation. You gradually increase the energy of your condensation as build up proceeds to the surface. Okay, the maximum energy is used at the surface of the restoration. Next, the condensation can be either from one periphery of the increment to other or preferably from center of the increment to the periphery to reduce the void and air entrapment. Okay? Pag nagko-condense na po kayo, either from one periphery ng increment to the other or preferably from the center of the increment to the periphery. Okay? Para po mabawasan yung voids and air entrapment doon sa walls ng cavity preparation ninyo. Okay? So, ano yung ginagamit natin na pang-condense ng ating lead, which is a common feature of all condenser, which has a faces that are serrated with pyramidal shape configuration. Condensers based on the shapes of the nib, round condenser or bayonet condenser are used as a starting condenser where the nib face is 0.4 to 0.55 millimeter. Next is the parallelogram preliminary. It creates the bulk in the restoration where the nib face is approximately 0.5 by 1 mm. Lastly, your Varney foot condenser naman po has a rectangular face. So it measures approximately 1 by 1.3 mm. So ginagamit natin yung Varney foot condenser natin for bulk build-up. Okay? Next, we discuss the methods of condensation. Okay? So, sa methods ng condensation natin, first, we have your hand pressure condensation. They are used as first step in the two-step condensation as initial confinement of material within the cavity. So, the compaction method is similar to your amalgam condensation except yung force and duration ng force is mas marami. Okay? Yung condensation force ninyo, mas mataas siya. Okay? The condensation energy produced by this method is not always sufficient to fulfill the objectives of the condensation. However, confinement of the material within the cavity preparation. So, kumbaga, ita-transfer nyo na yung material doon sa cavity preparation. So, yun yung unang confinement. So, yun yung unang condensation na gagawin ninyo doon sa material. Kumbaga, sa amalgam, ginamit nyo yung pang-transfer ng preparation. Hindi pa kayo gumagamit turning sa cavity preparation. Okay? Next is your automatic hand condenser. So this is a spring-loaded in release. It gives a series of blow kasi nagde-descend before before pa yung full pressure is applied. So, hindi talaga napapak ng maayos yung material sa cavity preparation. Okay? The oldest, mostly preferred by most clinicians, and it requires a trained assistant. Okay? So sa condensation by hand malleting natin, correct form ng hand malleting is it requires lighter rather than delivering heavy lead, as it must not be hawak. The mallet must travel condenser. Okay? Anong advantage ng condensation by hand malleting natin? Greater control of the malleting force, which varies. Varying force are used, and may rapid change ng condenser tip. Okay? So, nagbabago yung condenser tip, hindi lang isa, multiple condenser tips yung ginagamit natin to properly pack or properly condense the material in the prepared cavity. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na condensation by mechanical means. So, they consist of condensers with working tip and a short shaft, malleting handpiece, either straight or right-angled handpiece. Okay? So, advantage ng mechanical means ng condensation natin and nababawasan yung fatigue ng material. So, meron tayong different types of your mechanical means ng condensation. First, we have your pneumatic condensation using your Hollenbach. And of course, we have your electronic condensation by Factory. Okay? So, we have 3 steps in building up for the restoration. Okay, first we have your tie formation. It's the connecting or connection of two opposite point angles with a transverse bar of gold. Okay, yung tie that forms the foundation of any direct gold. Okay, after that we have your banking of walls, covering each wall from its floor or eggshell wall to cover surface margin with direct gold. The wall is banked without obstructing the tie formation or banking of other walls. So it is done simultaneously on other walls then. Okay? Next is the shoulder formation. Your shoulder formation naman is to complete a build up. So two opposing walls of your gold. Okay? Area of your cabo surface margin is individually covered with your excess gold foil. So, dun sa cavity margins ninyo, after ninyo ma-pack or ma-condense siya gold foil. So, the condensation from the center to center. Okay? Since it decreases the trapped air bubble. So, like this before sa amalgam ninyo, when you're sa gitna, di ba? Nagsastart cavity preparation. Okay? And then, papunta sa tooth structure. Okay? From the remaining tooth structure pababa sa central pit. Okay? You start from the center papunta sa remaining tooth structure to decrease the trapping of the restoration. It utilizes the high condensation energy in the restorative procedure objectives of your restoration. Okay? So, after natin ma-condense, after natin ma-pack, after natin ma-carve, or ma-burnish yung gold natin, we move to the finishing. Okay, the proper finishing might more aptly be described as additional condensation. Okay, despite the most careful precautions, a condensed mass of gold will be having a minute air pockets incorporated into it. When polishing, these void spaces are exposed, leaving tiny pits that may not be ready. So, ang nangyayari daw po pag nagko-condense tayo ng gold natin, hindi natin maiiwasan yan na magkakaroon talaga ng maliliit na air pocket. Ang nangyayari, pag pinalish natin yung voids na yon, nagkakaroon ng mga maliliit na pit. So, hindi nyo siya makikita kaagad after you do the first finishing or polishing. Makikita nyo na lang siya pag magpa-final finish na kayo. Okay? This finishing is consist of 3 operations. So, una is the removing of or removal of excess gold, and then the elimination of the pits on the surface, and then polishing the surface. Okay? So, during the removal of your gold, we use various rotary instruments such as this and finishing burrs to remove the excess gold. Okay? Then after that, we eliminate the pits on the surface with the use of your burnishing hand instruments, including your gold files, your discoid carvers, and gold knives, as well as your beaver tail burnishers. Okay? And then after you eliminate the pits on the surface, you polish the surface with the use of your fine garnet and cuttle disc abrasive strips. Okay, buhay pa ba ang lahat? Ayun, may dalawang nag-react. Okay, so doon na po natatapos yung ating metals in dent mat. Yes po. May nagtataas ba ng kamay kanina? Yes po. May questions po?
Doc, pwede pong paulit ng huling slide. Parang naputol po sa akin kasi.
Okay po. Wait lang po. Okay, so sa finishing natin, again, okay, so after natin mapack, ma-condense yung gold filling material natin, we need of course to finish and polish the restoration. Okay, so despite most careful precautions, kahit na gaano natin kaganda i-condense or i-pack yung material, hindi talaga maiiwasan na merong maliliit na air pockets doon sa mass or doon sa mixture na pinak ninyo. So, when you try to polish those void spaces, ang nangyayari kasi, syempre, since matatanggal yung, mapapolish yung void spaces na yan, magkakaroon ng tiny pits doon sa mass ng mixture ninyo. Okay? So, hindi nyo mapapansin kaagad yan sa first finishing ninyo, mapapansin nyo yan after the final finish na. Okay? So your finishing is consist of 3 operations. First is you remove the gold excess, and then you eliminate the pits on the surface, and then you polish the surface. So sa removal ng excess gold, you use various rotary instruments, and after that, you eliminate naman the pits on the surface o yung mga maliliit na voids dun sa surface using your burnishing instruments. Maraming burnishing instruments for your gold. Okay? And then after you eliminate the pits on the surface, that's when you polish the surface using your abrasive strips, using your pumice to clean the, and powdered chalk to clean the surface for polishing. Okay? Okay. Questions po? May questions? Okay. Okay po, since hindi ko kayo mami-meet bukas, ay wait lang, magdadagdag po ako ng published module sa Canvas. Sorry. Okay, so mag yung quiz po later na this afternoon ha, para you have enough time to study before the quiz. So again, yung activity po dapat for today is move na po next week. And then sa Friday po, kaya ko kayo gustong kausapin tomorrow sana personally is that to let you know na since nagka-problem po kasi during your midterm exam sa subject ko and maraming umaapila sa akin na nagkakaroon ng problem during the midterm exam without me knowing. So, para fair sa lahat, I have decided na I will disregard your midterm exam last Friday. Okay? So, what we'll do on Friday is uulit tayo ng midterm exam to be fair sa lahat. Okay? Then, yung quiz nyo po for the acrylic resin is kukuhanin ko pa rin po doon sa in-exam nyo nung Friday since 10 points or 10 items from your midterm exam last Friday is acrylic resin. So, 10 points lang po yung quiz nyo for the acrylic resin and then yung essay part last Friday, ika-count ko po yan as your midterm exam. So, mag-e-exam po ulit kayo ng midterm exam sa akin sa Friday, 40 items naman. Okay po? Para po fair sa lahat. Kasi ang daming umaapila sa akin na what happened last Friday is hindi fair para sa lahat. Okay? So, para fair, disregarded na po yung midterm exam nyo last Friday. So, uulit kayo ng midterm exam sa akin this Friday. Okay po? If wala na po kayong questions, you may leave na po. Thank you.
Doc?
Yes po.
Doc, ask ko lang po dun po sa notes po for today's po.
Yes po. Hindi na po ako magbibigay ng notes this finals.
Okay po. Thank you po. Doc,
Okay
sa
po. Yes
po, sa mga modules po.
Mhm.
Nasabi niyo po ipapublish niyo po.
Ipa-publish ko siya after kasi hindi ko ma-open yung Canvas ko pag naka-open yung Google Meet.
Sige po.
Ipa-publish ko ulit siya after ng call.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, Doc.
Thank you po.